Okay, we are back for yet another episode, Thirst for Knowledge, where we drink and we learn stuff, and it's all around good time.
And we know stuff.
Yes, we do.
Very exciting.
At the end of the episode, yes. So what are you drinking?
I am celebrating June's Pearl with a green pearl fizz.
Ooh.
It's vodka, Midori, some lime juice, some simple syrup, a little soda pop, and I do not have an apple to garnish, a green apple, but that's the thing. But nice. Yeah, I'm having a green pearl fizz. How about you?
I am having a French pearl. So this is a tribute to the Beaux-Arts neoclassical architectural movement of the late 1800s because it has pastis in it, which is a French anise-flavored liqueur. But much like you, it's got lime and simple syrup and gin and the pastis, and you can add mint or lime for a garnish. But yeah, it's not bad. It's all right. I mean, it's not my favorite, but Cheers. All right, so as you nicely mentioned, we're in June, so we're on pearls, and I like pearls for a number of reasons, but one of which is because they're the only biologically derived gemstone.
That's right. It's the only one.
Which is kind of cool.
It is super cool. It's formed inside of mollusks, mostly oysters and mussels.
Yes.
And not only are they the only biologically derived gemstone, but they're the only ones that are formed on the surface.
Yeah,
which I just thought was a funny little thing. Obviously, it's formed on the surface. But
yeah, but I wouldn't have thought about it until you said it.
I know.
I love it.
Exactly. See, that's why it was a fun thing to mention.
Yeah, I love it too because it has a connection back to my previous life as a researcher, because everyone has that sort of classic, this little sand is the irritant that irritates the mollusks and it starts secreting the layers that become the pearl, but it's usually a parasite.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was just an irritant. Some kind of...
Well, parasites are irritating.
It's in there and you can't get it out.
Yeah.
I guess so. I thought the whole thing about a pearl was some kind of physical irritant, like a pebble or some sand gets in basically their mouth, and they can't get it out, so they just keep secreting this layer after layer after layer after layer to kind of smooth it out and make it more comfortable.
Yeah, but it's not always
sand. I didn't know a parasite could do it.
Sometimes it's a little parasite. It's just stuck on in there. Yeah.
Here's a dumb question. Does that mean then some pearls there's like a little quasi fossilized parasite inside of these layers? Really?
If you have a natural pearl, yeah. A lot of pearls, I think a good portion of the pearls in the market are cultured pearls, where they put a little seed in there and to get the oyster to build the pearl around it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okie.
And it's interesting. So the layers, aragonite and conchiolin, which I am probably not saying right.
I couldn't pronounce it myself, and I tried.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, so it's basically a protein matrix of organic macromolecules, proteins, and polysaccharides, and it holds and binds these crystals of aragonite, and that makes what's called the nacre, which is those layers around the pearl.
Right.
And the aragonite is calcium carbonate crystal.
Yes.
Which I thought was cool.
I don't even know where to go from here. They occur in several environments and several species. Saltwater pearls are typically produced by oysters, and they include varieties such as Akoya and Tahitian and South Sea. But there's also freshwater pearls, which are produced by mussels and are commonly found in rivers and lakes. And they come in an incredibly wide range of colors, which I thought was fascinating. I knew of whitish pearls and pinkish pearls, and I've seen like the dark bluish, maybe even blackish pearls, but there's gold and blue and lavender and green, and there's even a peacock kind of color of pearl, which I thought was fascinating.
Yeah, so there was an article published in Nature in 2021 talking about the color. And so it's what's called, which I think is really interesting because this is not actually found a lot in nature. It's called structural color, and it originates from the multiple reflections in the nano-layered structure of the mother of pearl, that nacre, right? So the thickness of the layers determine the color reflection from that nacre. And so other examples of structural colors include opals, a species of butterfly, jewel beetles, polio fruits. I don't know if you've seen them, but I Googled them and they're super cool. So like a raspberry, except each of the little pearls of the berry is looks like a black pearl. It has that kind of sheen to it. They're really neat.
Okay.
Yeah. So these multi-layered structures, right, for this structural color, right, they can be used in like spectrometers and in optical filters and other devices, right? And we've actually mentioned them in the Luxi podcast in the very first episode about plaid, when we talked about how plaid is used to determine how we see. So it's all sort of like links together. So I thought that was kind of a cool throwback. So early pearl manufacturers that wanted to control the color, and it has to do with the thickness of this aragonite crystal layer. So the authors of this study developed a non-destructive method for doing just that in the Akoya pearl farming. So it's a small oyster, and they are said to be some of the best cultured pearls. And it's essentially an optical model is what they developed, which means that they use data to predict what is happening with the pearls, specifically internal light scattering and the light transmission. And the transmission and reflection spectra of the pearls showed good agreement with the experimental results, so that you have a method that's reproducible and could be optical modeling of the layers to try to determine what color the pearl is going to be, or control what color that pearl is going to be in the end, which I thought was kind of cool. Yeah.
It's super cool.
Yeah. So that was good. I have a fun fact for you. Did you know that pearls need to be worn? So because pearls are made out of a biological process, they smells not the right word. So like the skin, the oils on your skin helps the pearls stay lustrous and intact and beautiful. And so if you put your pearls away and you never wear them, you're actually damaging your pearls. So they want to be out and on you and touched by people, and that's how you keep them nice.
Interesting. Along those lines, I also learned probably has to do with wearing them and your body temperature. But if you keep your pearls warm, I read that keeps them lustrous as well. So that is probably a combination of those two things.
Yeah. So I didn't know this until my brother went on his honeymoon to Tahiti, and I made him buy some pearls for me because, as you do for a good sister when you're on your honeymoon.
Of course. And
it came with a little card that basically said, "Please wear us." Nicer, but that was the gist of the message.
Funny.
But speaking of luster, so luster is the sheen on the pearl, but it's also the origin of the term lackluster. So there's a type of pearl where the biomineralization of the calcium carbonate is imperfect, and they're called vaterite pearls. And so they don't luster as much, so they lack luster. And supposedly the term was first heard in Shakespeare's As You Like It.
I think I made that a science fact on Science Actually a few years ago. It sounds strikingly familiar.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Did you know that the biggest pearl ever found? Yeah, where is it? Can you guess its size?
I have no idea.
Oh my goodness, golly gracious. I just had it in front of me and I hit, there it is. The largest cultured pearl in the world is called the Pearl of Puerto. It's from the Philippines, 75 pounds.
What? That's crazy.
Yes.
How big was that oyster? Is that like giant clam?
It's bigger than a child, it said. So,
giant clam-sized oyster.
And I found that phrase, bigger than child, at least a dozen times in my looking it up.
That's
so I'm just
impressive.
kind of wrote bigger than some humans. But it's huge. It was a huge thing. There are giant pearls you can get kind of on the regular from the Philippines as well. They have pearls that weigh anywhere between 12 and 14 pounds. They're harder to find, but they do grow naturally that size. They're quite pricey, as I'm sure you can imagine. But if you want to head on over to the Philippines and see if you can find a pearl of Lao Tzu, and you'll have a giant pearl.
That's crazy. What do you even do with a pearl that big, right? Like,
according to you, you got to wear it. So
I mean, that's a big piece of jewelry right there.
Either make it part of the headdress or Just a
I don't even
massively heavy
know.
necklace.
I don't know. It's a lot. So we talked about kind of what pearls are made of, and interestingly, you can sort of unmake them. So
Yes.
pearl powder is used. Yeah, so pearl powder is used in some traditional Chinese medicine. It's also found its way into cosmetics. And the most common method is decalcification, which is removal of the calcium or calcium compounds. Now, you're going to bear with me as I try to pronounce this. By disodium ethylene diamine tetraacetate. And
that sounds great.
Yeah, right? So this undermines the structures. Therefore, the role of the proteins found in the pearl powder. So gas diffusion is another option that can separate the pearl powder from the nacre powder. But interestingly, pearl powder is starting to find potential uses in wound healing. So there's very few therapeutic agents that can stimulate wound healing. Interesting, leeches. Leeches have some anticoagulants and things that are helpful. No, seriously, you can see, if you go to a wound clinic,
there are medicinal leeches. That's true.
Yeah, there are medicinal leeches. So wound healing itself has 3 phases. So first is inflammation, which is kind of the first phase of a lot of things in your body. So you'll get release of elastases and proteases by neutrophils, which are really cool white blood cells. And they come to the site of the infection or the injury, and they phagocytize or eat other cells. This leads to vascular dilation and increase of blood vessel permeability, things that are needed to heal a wound, right? You want to get the stuff to the wound fast, right? So you want increased permeability, increased blood, vascular dilation. And then proliferation is the skin cells come to the site to promote wound angiogenesis. So it's not just building new skin, it's building new blood cells as well to be able to nourish that new skin, right? And then maturation. So other skin cells produce extracellular collagen matrix that's required to stick your skin back together. So studies in rats and humans wound healing models, right? So they have human skin cells in a culture that are disrupted, and then they try to get them to stitch themselves back together. Have shown that nacre and pearl extracts will lead to well vascularized tissue and improved extracellular matrix production and the ability to promote migration of new skin cells to injury sites. And so the hypothesis is that the protein in the pearl, which I'm not going to try to pronounce again, is responsible for these the skin healing and the improving qualities. And like I said, pearl powder is added to skincare products with the hopes that that'll do what it does for wound healing, it'll do for your natural skin. But that's actually not been substantiated by any science in terms of the cosmetics. And the experiments to date with pearl powder and pearl extracts have only been done in animal studies or in vitro human skin experiments. So it's hard to extrapolate their efficacy into a whole person. So my vote is you don't pay extra for the pearl in your cosmetics. But that's just me. But it's cool.
I was just going to say something along the medical lines that the nacre has been used for bone grafts, and that's as far as I read. But that was way cooler.
Yeah. Well, they're both cool, right? Bone grafts, wound healing. And going along with that, there's another study that saw a hastened wound closure and improved biomechanical strength of recovered tissue in rat for nano-sized pearl powders. So there's this whole movement in science to use, nanotechnology, nano delivery systems, and things like that. But it's still pretty nascent as a field, but the authors of this particular study envisioned a product that would consist of an antimicrobial nanofiber dressing with a pearl powder. So it would protect injured tissues from pathogens and stimulate that tissue regeneration. So kind of a mesh that you would put over a wound. And this would be especially important for burn treatment. Because there's just, again, not a whole lot of options for burn patients in terms of tissue regeneration and things like that. So I thought that was cool.
That's it. Who knew pearls had so much uses?
Yeah, I know.
So many uses.
You liking your cocktail?
I am liking my cocktail. A cocktail named after a pearl, which, by the way, if you grind up pearls into a fine enough powder and you mix it into your paint, whatever you paint is going to have a lovely shimmer to it.
Yeah, that luster.
I love it.
Yeah, it's very cool. I don't know, and perhaps you know, how do you tell like a real pearl from a fake pearl? I've seen people where they like chip, like
Yeah, I was
use
gonna
their
mention,
teeth.
I was gonna say that if you get a plastic pearl or a glass pearl or a ceramic pearl, they are pretty uniform in texture, often uniform in their smoothness. But a natural pearl is most definitely not. A mollusk is not going to very carefully make sure it's perfectly spherical, because they're not. There are something called Baroque pearls, which are the lumpy, more ornate looking pearls, which I think personally look better than the perfectly spherical ones, because these were formed according to the contours of its previous host. It's kind of interesting. Then also, if you take a pearl, and like you just demonstrated for those who can't see us, Alexis took it, she put it next to her teeth in her mouth. Yes, you can slowly, very gently rotate it against the edge of your tooth or brush your tongue against it, and you're going to feel a very sandy kind of irregular texture to it, and that's going to tell you. The ceramic ones, the glass ones, they're smooth. They're kind of like, almost like marbles.
Gotcha.
But if you taste it, or you don't really taste anything, but you can feel with your tongue, where you can grind, not I want to say grind it, but as you twist it against the edge of your tooth, you can kind of feel that little kind of vibration. But also there is a test with acid.
Ooh.
You can put just the smallest itty bitty bit of like a very strong vinegar. You can help dissolve that calcium bicarbonate or calcium carbonate. And if it dissolves, even just a little bit, that's real. If it's glass, it won't do anything.
Interesting.
So a lot of times, I've seen over the years when jewelry gets tested to see if it's real, it requires literally destroying.
It seems like that.
Tiniest bit of it.
Seems
bring
that
us a
way.
big thing of gold. A jeweler's going to take a file and scrape off a little bit of powder, and they're going to do acid tests on those powdered bits of gold and see if it turns colors or whatever. Same thing with pearls. You got to give it a little scrape, a little acid, vinegar. See.
What about diamonds? I can't really scrape off a diamond, so.
No, diamonds have their own special things. Like, I remember I was a kid and my father's a jeweler, and he gave me 2 diamonds that were almost identical. And I had to tell him which one was real. And I couldn't for the life of me tell him which one was real. They measured the same. They looked the same underneath high magnification. The color was beautiful, and the impurities were almost none whatsoever, and I couldn't tell. And then he showed me a simple way. He weighed them. Diamonds and cubic zirconia have different weights. If this is a diamond of this volume, it would weigh this much. If it was a cubic zirconia, same volume,
different weight.
It would weigh that much. And that was like the ultimate tell. I'm like, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have either. It wouldn't have occurred to me that they would have weighed differently. But back to the pearls.
Back to the pearls.
So a great majority of mollusk species can produce pearls, but they're just not that attractive. Like they don't have the luster or the iridescence. So you can find pearls. And we were out in Greece with Dimos' cousin, and we had some oysters, and we found some teeny little pearls in there. It was very cool. So you can find them in escargot snails, edible mussels.
Really?
Yeah. And some of them are pretty. I'm looking at pictures, like a natural conch pearl. It has kind of it's pink with like a flame pattern. They don't have the iridescence or the luster, but they're pretty neat looking in and of themselves. So scallop species abalones, they can all do it because it's part of being a mollusk. It's just that we don't value all of those different types necessarily.
Tahitian pearls have the greatest, I think, variety of colors, which is fantastic. They have anything from an olive to deep forest green. They're famous for black pearls, which aren't actually black. If you look at it closely, you're going to see it's an incredibly dark gray, distinguishable enough from gray and black, but it has all sorts of kind of iridescent blues and greens that shine out, and all those colors added together at a quick glance makes it appear black for a moment. But they also have the peacock color, which is multicolor iridescence, ranging from greens and purples and blues and bronze. So it has a kind of like a metallic sheen to it. Absolutely striking. And it's Very nice.
That's very cool. I think one of my favorite things are the ama. So these are the women pearl divers in Japan. And the first records of these women doing this are back to AD 927 in Japan.
Wow.
Yeah. And they're known to dive for seafood, bring up pearls too. If you open an abalone. And it's really cool. And, they were kind of smaller until it was Mikimoto who did the discovery and production of cultured pearls in the late 1800s, and that produced a greater demand. So yeah, I just think that's really cool. It's mostly women, and they have the specialized skill of diving for these pearls.
Wow.
Yeah. And Mikimoto is still a major pearl brand, I guess, right? Manufacturer, like the Mikimoto pearls are known to be really lovely, in particular. Yeah,
the Mikimoto Kokichi, the full name. I did research too.
Yeah, of course. I think
did you know that the warmer the water the pearl forms in, the faster the pearl forms?
Oh, that's interesting.
Saltwater pearls tend to be rounder. Freshwater pearls tend to be more lumpy. Yeah,
I think that's all the fun pearl facts that I have.
They bioluminesce. Under UV light, some pearls fluoresce because of organic compounds.
I love a fluorescence. I'm always here for a fluorescence.
So there you have. There you go. Let's see. There's a cultural note that I found that in some traditions around the world, cultures that have nothing to do with each other, that pearl was often believed to promote harmony and especially marital bliss specifically. And these are from cultures around the world that had nothing to do with each other, but somehow they all believed that pearls had the same type of meaning. I thought
that's cool.
Cool. It makes me think of the Pleiades stars. And they are in Japan. They call them the Pleiades are these stars in, I believe, Orion's belt, and they're called the Seven Sisters. And how anybody thousands of years ago would have known that they were seven stars clumped together, nobody knows, but they're called the Seven Sisters. And in Japan, they're called Subaru. That's what the car is named after. So if you look at the car's little logo, it's seven stars.
Oh, yeah.
And in Japan, they called it the Seven Sisters as well. Like, how did you know?
That's cool. So, yeah, pearls, only biological gemstone.
People believe that the more pearls you wear, the more stress it will relieve, which is not really true. But some people
sometimes there are days where you just got to try everything.
Anything else, really?
I think I know why. I think there's a correlation between the number of pearls you can wear and how rich you are. Right? So, you got more money, maybe you have less stress.
She wore a lot of pearls, and then she lost those. Yeah. But don't go in a dark alley after leaving a movie theater, because then you'll get killed, and then your son will turn into Batman.
I would hope so, right? Like, honestly.
Batman's mom was wearing a lot of pearls.
I would hope that my son would avenge my death like that. Start training him now.
Oh, totally. But you gotta wear a lot of pearls first. It needs to be visual.
Oh, okay.
You see the pearls, you're gonna go crazy.
Okay, gotcha.
Pearls! Making children superheroes.
Yes, there's also the very enigmatic and beautiful Vermeer painting of a girl with a pearl earring.
Yes, there is. I love that painting.
It's a nice one. All right.
It's a big pearl, too.
Yeah, it is. So I have drunk my pearl cocktail, and we have learned some fun pearl facts. So I think my
glass is empty.
Yeah.
This was a wonderful journey.
It was. I really enjoyed learning about pearls. And so all that's left is to thank you all for listening to this episode of Thirst for Knowledge. And if you like it, share it, review it, rate it, give it all the stars, subscribe so you don't miss the next one.
Stars. And if you live in Tahiti, send us some of those pearls with the multiple colors. We'd love to have some. See them.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you next time.
See you next month, gang.